How's it going, guys, and welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Mind Killer. If you'd like to farm the Mind Killer for yourself, you're on a fast travel over to Ascension Bluff on Pandora and make your way towards, into, and almost all the way through the Holy Broadcast Center. We're right in front of Mouthpiece's arena. You will find a save station that we will be resetting from, which of course from there you're going to be jumping down into Mouthpiece's arena, killing him, and you can get yourself the Mind Killer. The Mind Killer is a legendary Maliwan shotgun, always rolling as non-elemental, and fires out a unique shockwave projectile, functioning as the normal shockwave projectile, but having a cool equalizer-esque effect to it. The Mind Killer also has a strange charge where it is a necessary charge and you have to charge it to max, however it charges to max almost instantly. So you can just tap fire this as fast as possible and still get the max damage out of it. Oh, but that being said though, the max damage out of the Mind Killer really isn't that much, because even on Mo's vs. Flesh enemies, this thing sucked crusty chode, and that is really not a good sign for things to come. Granted, that was on True Guardian Takedown, but I promise you it does not get better. Let's be a little positive here though first, because I actually do really like the Mind Killer. It is a really cool weapon for similar reasons as to why I liked the Killing Word. It's just thematically cool, and those projectiles are dope as hell. They also both drop from Mouthpiece, which is probably just my favorite boss design-wise in the entire franchise. And they both fit and feel as his weapons because he is a sound-based boss. But whereas the Killing Word is like the intro gun, so it gets a pass on really not holding up, the Mind Killer should be a souped-up version of it, where if you're lucky enough to get it on your first hill, you're gonna be having a great time with it, or you get rewarded for revisiting a boss that had a kinda neat drop to him and finding an even cooler one. But unfortunately, that's not the case, and honestly, the Mind Killer almost felt worse than the Killing Word. Granted, they both sucked, and there's really no point to using either of them at endgame, but the Killing Word lived up to that kill part a little bit better than the Mind Killer. Now, it is almost usable on Maliwan Takedown, but it's kinda usable in the same way that you can wipe the shit from your beehole with your hand, but while you could, why would you just leave it there like God intended? But even going lower than Maliwan Takedown, the Mind Killer still managed to be sad even in generic mobbing areas like Trials or even Athenas. Really, at its best, it could kill a squishy enemy in maybe 2 shots. One if you're really, really lucky, and they're really, really squishy. But if a badass shows up, you might as well bend over and spread him, because the Mind Killer is about to get your mind blown by the bandit schmeat that's about to be raw dogging you into fight for your life. The Mind Killer is a simple case of a weapon that is really cool in theory and just in theme, but in practice, it's pretty shit and practically worthless. It doesn't deal damage, it also has a pretty awkward firing with that weird sort of charge that isn't really a charge. But while it is going to continue living in my head, let me be the one to bear that burden while all of you can go about your lives and never think about this thing again. That's gonna about do it for this one, but before I head on out here, for those that either forgot or didn't watch yesterday's video, I will be live today later on than usual at around 5 p.m. EST, as I will be reacting to the Summer Games Fest live with all you fellas that want to stop on by. I will be live here right on YouTube and also over my Twitch, where there will be a link to down in the description below, and just under that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.